Good afternoon. It's Sabrina Khan, founder and host of FuelYourselfFabulous.tv. And my mission for setting up this sort of whole online web TV show was really to play a vital role in the overall awareness of health and vitality for women, and through that sort of revive the way they move, think, eat, and live. Because we're actually in a world where there's a lot of sort of chronic illnesses, chronic sicknesses, a lot of obesity, because there's sort of fast food joints all over the place. So I think we really are in an environment where sharing knowledge such as what my guest is going to share for you today can really make a difference in your life. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. So remember, it's an interactive live web TV where you can ask Holly questions. Unfortunately, my main site is down today, so please, if you could go to my personal fan page, or if you could, put the questions on the events page, that would be really, really awesome. So today I've got the awesome Holly Mitson with me. Now, Holly is a remarkable woman. I've been speaking to her for a few months now, and I'm always amazed at her remarkability and what she's up to. For starters, she looks absolutely amazing, but she's a mother of 5. Incredible, Holly. And she's an online entrepreneur. And Holly actually had she actually hurt her foot really, really badly, and from the injury her foot was actually the size, it was inflamed so much it was actually the size of a football. So anyway, I'm going to let you go into the rest of your story, Holly, and how you actually use the power of nutrition and your subconscious mind to overcome the pain. Yeah, so go ahead, Holly, over to you.
Okay, thank you. It's first off awesome to be on here, so thank you for even inviting and letting me share my story. It actually happened about almost going on 3 years now. I was always a very healthy person. I was always very active. There was nothing out of the ordinary at all until one day I tripped. I broke my foot. It was nothing fancy, but what happened was my whole world got totally shifted around on me. What they thought was just like a normal break ended up being something a lot more serious, where my swelling was going so bad. Like you said, it was the size of a football. It was like a purple. It was an intense fire. Like I literally could not put any pressure on it. I could not touch it. I couldn't even wear shoes for the next year and a half, almost 2 years. I wasn't able to wear anything but slippers and really fuzzy socks. The doctors really wasn't sure what was going on at first. I finally went to a neurologist and I was diagnosed with something called reflex sympathetic dystrophy. It's also known as complex regional pain syndrome. And what happens is it's a neurological misfire in your nervous system that tells your body that it's still in a lot of pain. So all of your pain receptors goes straight to a part of your limb. Usually it starts in one limb and it can progress to your whole body. So it's shooting pain signals at your foot. So it's literally the most painful condition that you can ever be diagnosed with. It's number 42 on the McGill pain scale. And it really, really took hold of my foot very quickly. And as we tried to treat it, it actually spread it to my other leg, my other foot, and into my arm. So it got to the point that it was so bad, it literally, my muscles in my legs would contract and tremor really bad. I couldn't put pressure on my legs or my feet anymore for longer than about like 2 minutes. And as time passed and I couldn't really move my legs or anything at all, I actually ended up in a wheelchair for a little while, which was really, really, really hard with 5 kids. My eyes are already, I'm glad I have mascara, like waterproof mascara on today. It was a really, really dark, really, really hard time in my life. the doctors just didn't know what to do with me, because every time they would kind of poke and prod me, it would spread to a different area of my body. So if you could imagine, like, both of my feet were kind of turned inwards. They were like a purplish red, very, very swollen. And it actually went up into my arm, where my arm was like stuck like this.
Wow.
And I was just kind of like this, and I was just stuck. It was absolutely horrible. It really. Go ahead.
I know it sounds horrific, and the thing is, you were very, very. I mean, you were brave. I mean, for 2 years, if you couldn't even wear proper shoes and walk correctly, I mean, you know, how did you manage? How did you sort of keep the faith?
I don't even know. There were some nights. Some nights I honestly would pray that God would just take me, because I couldn't handle the pain anymore. It got that bad where I wasn't sleeping anymore. Doctors just, I mean, everyone was like, this is just one of those things. And it's a horrible, horrible thing that I would not wish upon anybody. That doctors just, nobody knows what to do. That's why they renamed it complex regional pain syndrome. It's supposed to be something that once you get it, it lasts your whole life.
Wow.
And it's supposed to be a progressive thing. But however, when I heard that this is going to be your entire life, that was like a block for me. There was like a wall, like, no, I refuse to let this be the rest of my life. I refuse to be in this wheelchair for the rest of my life while my babies need me, and I'm stuck in this chair. So I ended up actually getting nursing in my home, because I couldn't get off my couch. I couldn't move my body. I was literally stuck like this. And a nurse came in my home, and this nurse was like my angel. She really was. She introduced me to, the power of nutrition, and the power of eating, and the power of your mindset, and how to, because at this point, literally, I was hopeless. Like, doctors didn't know what to do with me. They'd throw me to pain doctors. Pain doctors didn't know what to do with me, because all the treatments they were giving me were actually like kind of making it worse. So the doctors didn't want to see me anymore. So I really, when a doctor says there's nothing we can do for you, it puts you at a really hopeless spot. And so when that nurse came in, and she really, really put a lot of hope in me that I really needed. So I do, she's my angel. She came in, and she brought me, I wish I had this book. I let someone borrow it just because it was really powerful, and that's how I am. I read, but it was all about nutrition and like sugars, and what processed sugars can do to your body. And I started studying like anti-inflammatory diets. I started studying like what chemicals, house chemicals and stuff can do to your body. I started studying like the power of your brain, and to be able to just even get up and to try to get up and try to move every day took such a motivation. Like, I had to get up and listen to Les Brown immediately when I woke up, because he's so empowering. But I needed that mindset to be able to just get up and do this. I knew in the back of my mind that there was no way with all my kids that I would let this syndrome get my life. I just couldn't do it. So I went. A lot of people would, when I say this, a lot of people think this is like over the top. But when you get to a point when you have nothing left, like you will do whatever it takes. And I learned, as I went through this, whatever it takes really isn't that hard. The hardest thing is to make the decision to do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, yeah. So just back on the point, Holly, where you were saying that the doctors gave up on you, and they were prescribing sort of medication and treatments, and none of these were working. So none of their painkillers, and none of the sort of, what kind of things were they recommending? What kind of treatments were sort of being, were you being referred to?
They started with spinal blocks.
Right.
They did it. I had three spinal blocks done. And that's when things, and I don't want to say, someone's watching this and they have, because it does work for some people.
Sure.
I throw that out there. This is my personal story.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole sort of, I think the aim is just to share another way, just to educate people, because obviously the medical profession is fantastic, and they, you know, of course they have their own, you know, they have their own sort of, you know, they're incredible, and but there is, I do believe in the power of nutrition and mindset immensely as well. So this is just, yeah, Holly's
I just wanted to
story.
throw that out, just you know, just
Yes.
because it's one of those things. But so they did spinal blocks on me, and when I had the spinal blocks, that's what spread it into my other leg, where my other leg started just, I mean, when you have reflex sympathetic dystrophy, the only way you can really describe it is like your body is on fire from the inside out, and like drills are going through your bones. I mean, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
So when I got that, it spread it into my other leg. And then when I had another procedure, they had to give me the IV in my arm.
Yes.
The IV spread it into my other, into my arm, because this is my left arm. It's always been my strong arm, right? So I want to just get back to the nutrition thing. I think I painted a pretty clear picture of what this was. So, you know, this woman brought me this book, this nurse, and she came to my house for like she started about 5 times. She was coming every day, and then, you know, she would come at 3 times, and then 2 times, and then she was done. But we sat down and we made a plan of action that, okay, your biggest problem is inflammation. So what do we need to do to conquer the inflammation nutritionally, while you're working on your mindset, while you're doing these things? So we just took it step by step, because when you try to change everything all at once, it gets very, very hard. So we started with my sugars, and we just wiped my sugars out. Now I do like natural sugars, because our body processes natural sugars like in fruits and stuff better than it does like white processed kind of sugars. So that was the #1 thing that I did to take out my inflammation, or to really help it. And second, I drank a lot of water. Like, I mean, you're recommended plus, I mean, I drink like a gallon of water a day, a ton of water just to flush. I mean, you would be amazed all the toxins and stuff that are in your body. And just like lemon water is really just cleans you right out. You don't really need anything fancy. So that, and I really started eating a lot of green foods. I became like a bunny. I literally eat like a rabbit sometimes, but that's what you have to do. Not only that, but I started taking out all of my cleaning chemicals in my house. I took, you know, I only clean with tea tree oil and natural cleaners now. They just don't go in my house at all. And I found, probably the coolest thing in all of this is I found a technique that you can actually do to heal your body, using your subconscious mind.
Wow.
When I found this, I was a little bit skeptical. I'm not gonna lie. And when I share it with other people who have chronic pain, they're a little skeptical too. But I want to remind, you know, just say that when you come to a point when you're in so much pain that your quality of life is just absolutely to the point where you're stuck on the couch and you can't do anything, you try anything.
Yes.
And so what I found, it was actually just on Facebook. It was called Pinga Pain Control. And you can find it. It's literally, it's like $9 for these audios, and you get a book with it. And it's a 30-day process of exercises that you can do to help your mind and your subconscious brain actually produce hormones in themselves to start flowing to the parts of your body that need healed. It was absolutely, I'm like, this has got to be too good to be true. This is some kind of like fluky thing, but you know what? I'm in a lot of pain. I can't take it anymore. My kids need me. I'm going to try this. So it's an audio series that it's 20 minutes a day for 3 times a day for 30 days. And when you do this audio series, it's like a deep relaxation. A lot of it is forgiving your body, because it sounds really weird, but when you're in chronic pain, what happens is you start hating your body because it's not doing what you want it to do. Like, I want to walk, you're not walking, I don't like you anymore. So a big thing subconsciously that you have to do is you have to start loving yourself again and start loving your body again, and actually literally thanking your feet for everything that it's ever done. Like as you were a kid, they worked perfect. So the power of gratitude, and in your subconscious mind, what that produces, and you can actually channel that into the parts of your body that are really hurting the most. It's actually a very fascinating process. It was totally life-changing for me. And I did it. I did it for 3 times, just like the program said, 3 times a day for 30 days. And it was totally, you know, I've done physical therapy. I had to build my muscles back up, but in the process of building my muscles back up and getting kind of ahead of this disease, that pain control and that power of using my subconscious mind to literally heal the parts of my body so that I could handle the physical therapy was life-changing.
I know the thing is, I've been learning a lot about the subconscious mind as well, and the subconscious mind is actually what controls most of your life and your being, and anything your conscious mind tells it, your subconscious mind has to obey it. It has to obey it. So there's no two ways about it. So yeah, like you said, if you're telling your if you're telling your subconscious mind, oh, I'm in pain, guess what? Your subconscious mind is going to go, yes, Holly, you're in pain. So this thing resonates with me very, very well, and I completely take on board what you're saying. But the thing is, right, so let me ask you, was it the subconscious healing, or was it like the nutrition that helped you, or was it a combination of both, do you think?
Yeah, it was definitely a combination. I think healing comes in, a whole. There's lots of layers to healing.
Yes.
And that's, it took me years to be able to, I was in a wheelchair for about 9 months. And I was in physical therapy for about 9 months, like 5 times a day, physical therapy. I had to have all aspects. I had to take care of my mind. I had to take care of my body, and I had to take care of my nutrition, kind of wrap that up together. And I had to take care of, my environment and everything around me. So it was everything. You have to come in at all angles when it comes to healing.
Yeah, it's a very, I guess it's like you said, it's a very kind of holistic way to heal yourself, which from my research and from my reading, it is the right way.
I agree. It's the most effective and like long lasting.
Yes.
Everyone, especially in the society we live in, everyone wants like this quick fix and
Yes.
this, I'll take this pill and I'll feel better and I want to do this, and then everything should be hunky-dory fine. But usually those problems are happening because there's an underlying root, and you have to get down to the root of that underlying issue so you can really be healed instead of just covered up. Because I think a lot of times we're just getting covered up. We're making the problem just go away for a little bit. So when you take your nutrition and you do this holistically, it might take a little bit longer, but it's long term. You're taking care of your body, and
you're taking care of your mind. Sorry.
Yeah. No, there's like that's what I was like. It's really a wholeness. That's where you become whole, and that's freedom to me, is when you're taking care of all of it.
Everything's functioning correctly, isn't it? Your whole sort of, everything is functioning and flowing as it should.
Right.
And the thing is, cutting out sugar, that's the biggest thing. I mean, sugar, not just for chronic pain. I mean, sugar generally for most health conditions, from everything that I've read and from everything that everyone I've spoken to. I mean, I'm sort of, I'm speaking to a lot of cancer thrivers at the moment as well, cancer overcomers, and their message is exactly the same as yours. It's the power of the mind, and it's sort of, the food as well. It's getting more inflammation reducing foods, more alkaline foods, getting rid of sugar. And obviously a lot of people know sugar causes a lot of sort of like weight issues and a lot of issues generally all around. But because sugar is an addiction, it's actually supposed to be more addictive than cocaine. How did you wean yourself off sugar? Like, you know, that is the biggest barrier for most people. How did you wean yourself off sugar?
Well, first, it is very, very hard, and it is definitely it's harder than, yeah, it's a very hard, it's not easy, especially when you know, me personally, like, I love chocolate, and I'm not perfect. I still eat, you know, a little bit of chocolate here and there.
Yes.
Excuse me, but the biggest thing that I did was I took water and I made it a little bit different, because we all, you know, we want that sugar and stuff, and water is the one thing that is going to just clean you out better than anything in the world is water. But a lot of people don't like just plain water, and that's why they go to pop, or that's why they, you know, go to a ton of sugar and stuff, because it doesn't taste good enough. So I would just put like fruit in there. I would put like strawberries one day, and then I would put cucumbers in another, and then I would just make a game for myself. Like, what can I put in my water to make it taste a little bit different today? Like, oh, I'll put some strawberries and blueberries in it, or cucumbers and lime, or, you know, so I just kind of play, you know, it goes back to that mindset. Yes. And the power of your brain and your mind. If you really, really want to do something, you will. It's going to be hard. And I always suggest that people have like a day. Like, so you did good Monday through Saturday, you cut out, you know, things. Sunday, treat yourself.
Yeah.
I think when you treat yourself and you have that, you know, after a while, you're really not going to want it, which is kind of crazy, which I don't think, you know, so when you you set your mind up and say, you know, if you do really, really good, then treat yourself at the end of the week. And you just have that, then it's okay. And then after a while, you're just like, whatever, you know?
Well, I'm exactly the same, because when I was training and when I was eating clean, it was like once a week we'd have a cheat meal, and it gets rid of all the burning desires, and you know, you can just clean out your system. And like you said, after a while, the taste for sugar just goes. I mean, I still get it now and again, but your taste buds just change, don't they? And you start enjoying maybe what you didn't enjoy initially. So all of a sudden, sort of, you like the greens that you may not like, or if you like tea with sugar, all of a sudden that's going to annoy you because you've changed your taste buds and stuff.
Yeah. And I think shoot, I just had like this awesome thing and I just lost it. I can't remember. Yeah, if it comes back, I'll say.
Yeah, brilliant. So what do you think were your top 5 healing foods then, Holly, in sort of your whole pain reducing journey? What would you say would be your number, top 5?
My top 5, I'm just gonna, you know, off the top of my head, that I usually eat a lot of, is definitely kale. Kale is a huge, one of my favorites. You can do so much with it. Another thing, top 5 like pain reducing food is turmeric. I absolutely, like, I'll put it with almond milk, put a little bit of honey in there and some cinnamon, and make like a tea from it and drink that at night. That will also help with inflammation too. I see another food that I really, 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 the more greens that you put into your body, think of when you eat, just think of like the rainbow, right? You want your plate to be colorful. You want it to be as less processed as possible. And so I've found the more like green and purpley type foods that I eat, the less pain that I'm in. So top 5, I'm trying to think, you know, I really have to sit down, and I'm actually going to share that with everyone.
You're going to share that on you. You're going to share the rest of it at the end, aren't you?
Yes, that will be my little tidbit. Really, when it comes to nutrition, you know, the less ingredients, the better. And the more colorful colors that you can put on your plate, the better. So instead of trying to make it too complicated, you know, some people go by grams and calories. Like, I don't do that. I kind of give myself, like, portion wise, I just kind of look at my hands. I don't know if you can do that to do portions. I think portions are important. You don't want to overdo things. I just kind of use my hands and make it colorful, and you just balance those colors out, and your body will get what it needs. It's pretty simple. I think we can overcomplicate it a lot more than what it is. And I think that's why a lot of people have a hard time maybe totally going clean and totally going without any sugar, because it sounds so different. It sounds so radical that I don't know if I can do that. But really, you can. You just have to just go. I don't know.
Yeah, like you said, it's baby steps, isn't it? Sort of start
Yeah.
off with the water, with yeah, start off with the with the water, with the different sugared fruits, and just just slowly wean yourself off it. But I've got it is related to this question, and it isn't. How did you get your family to switch with you? Because obviously you're a mother of five, you've got a happy, wholesome family, and you at that point you probably realized how eating the right foods was important for your whole family. So how did you get your family to switch, Holly?
We are still in the process of working on that. Our family is very, very unique, where we all need different foods. Well, really, any family. What I'm learning is, when I grew up, it was like, if you don't like it, too bad. You have to eat it. You're gonna go hungry, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if someone puts a plate of spaghetti and all this pasta sauce, and my acidic level will go high, like skyrocketing, and I'll be in so much pain. So that's just not really a feasible thing anymore.
Right.
So really, we all need our own individual kind of plans, which we're still trying to figure out in our house. But when your kids see you in so much pain and they see you suffering, and then they are seeing the results of how you're eating and the choices that you're making, then and it's taken a long time. I'm not going to lie. It didn't just switch like this. I was the first one who had to do this. Then my husband, was like, well, maybe, we can go to stevia instead of sugar, so we switched to stevia. And my family just slowly started seeing the benefits of what was happening with mom. And they just became very supportive. I have one son who is not. He's on the spec. He's got some things going on, and he just will not. And that's okay, because I believe that that some kids just, you're a role model for your kids, and they will pick up on what you do, if immediate or not, So we're still a work in progress. I don't want to say that we have it all together, because we don't.
But it's in the right direction. It's moving in the right direction.
Yes, and they're almost like, oh, it's healthy, because it's just so much a part of me now. They hear that and they're like, oh, Mom, like, enough already. But seriously, changing my whole nutrition and changing my whole lifestyle, like I totally changed my life. I'm walking again. I'm exercising again. I'm a mom again. And it was because of the things that I put in my body and that I put in my mind. So they see that, and so they're starting to slowly come around and want that for them too.
So just something I picked up on there. So as soon as you eat something that you shouldn't be eating, like you said, something which has got a high acidity level or maybe full of sugar, does the pain come back straight away? It's like, does it come back almost immediately?
Yeah, it does. It does. I have to be very, very, very mindful of what I eat, because I actually, so I got back walking again. I got my life back together, and, very quickly, sometimes, we all kind of fail. I was like, oh, well, I got it all back together. And so I kind of slipped. And I realized immediately that me slipping was putting me right backwards. And it really showed me, like, okay, this is what I have to do to, I was diagnosed with something that they told me I would suffer from for the rest of my life. Now, I don't like to claim that, because there's power in your words, but I believe that now I say, okay, when it comes back, I know what to do. And I will go straight to my Pinga pain control. I will go straight to a quietness for 20 minutes. And if I have to do it for another 30 days or whatever, then that's what I do. But I'm very, 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 very careful now. Like, especially high acidic foods really, really spike my pain up like ridiculous. So I totally stay away from it.
So what, do you have an example of a couple of high acidic foods, just for listeners that are not sure what sort of acidity, alkaline or acidic foods are? Do you have an example of them?
I'm gonna say, like, pastas.
Yes.
That those high carb, actually, milk proteins can be actually a high acidic food.
Yes.
And I'm learning that I'm actually starting to cut out the milk totally and move into almond, just because I didn't believe it because you wouldn't think milk, but really milk is a high acidic thing that.
Yeah, I'm reading a lot more around that as well, and how and why a lot of people have lactose intolerances because of the enzymes in it. So that's why that's why it's only good for babies, because at that time we can digest it, but as later on you actually can't digest it. So that's why there's so much intolerances around. So meat as well. Meat is another sort of high acidic food, especially red meat.
Yep. And another thing that I've learned, I'll just share with you, is Kangen. You know, as we're talking about alkaline water, I don't know if you've ever heard of Kangen water, but I love Kangen water. That's actually, you know, because there's sometimes I just you have to eat what you have to eat. I mean, we all, you know, go out to dinner or go to a like family dinner or something, and you don't want to be rude and pack your own stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but Kangen water is a great, like when you can feel that pain kind of rising up and you can feel yours. I personally now can feel when it goes up. Like I don't need someone to tell me. I can just feel it.
Yes.
I love Kangen water. That really balances you know, your gut, your body. It really balances that alkaline level. And so Kangen water is like a huge, I'm going to put that in my top 5.
Your top 5 as well. Oh, brilliant! Yeah, I've actually. There's been a couple of people that are using that, and I hear a lot of good things about it. So I think I need to get my own Kangen water. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, you can tell. Like when you drink it, it's delicious. I love it.
Yeah. And do you still use sort of do you still use the healing? You know, when the pain comes back again, do you still use the healing that you did, the to produce your own painkillers? You do that regularly still, or is it under a lot of control and just as and when required now?
It's really as and when is required now. I did it for literally like 3 times a day for 30 days.
Wow.
You know, because the pain, it comes back here and there.
Yes.
I'm actually just kind of getting down from a big pain flare up, you know, the rain and the weather and things you have no control over. I definitely, that is something that once you learn, you will have in your mind forever to do. So it doesn't just work for, like, you know, what I have, it was designed for complex regional pain syndrome, but this will work for arthritis. This will work for irritable bowel syndrome. This will work for really any kind of pain. This will work for, because it's teaching you how to effectively relax your body and literally bring your energy to the parts of your body that need the healing. So this can, I mean, back pain, you name it, this can be used and applied. And I surely use it anytime I need to.
Me too. Yeah. No, this is incredible. I'll definitely be checking it out myself.
Yeah. And you know, the audios, you get 3 audios, and then you get like a little intro, and then it comes with a ebook too that you can read, and it will walk you through exactly how to do this. It will, you know, you just pop in one of those audios, get comfortable, and just go with, you know, it will walk you through like a subconscious exercise, and you will start feeling better for under $10. You know, doctors are like hundreds of dollars, so this is under $10.
And I just need to you're not actually an affiliate, and we're not actually getting a commission from it.
I wish I was. You know, I wish they had an affiliate program. I probably, because I just tell everybody it's truly no affiliate, no nothing. But it's worked.
It's something that works, isn't it? And it's very, very powerful from what it seems. And just another thing on the relaxation and the healing, is it hard? Can anyone do it? And to me it sounds because I've sort of done things like that, to me it sounds actually just relaxing. Like you said, you relax and you switch off, and so I guess it's a form of meditation as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. So anybody can do it. I can say the only people that might have a hard time doing it are the people that are a little skeptical and can't sit down and rest.
Yeah.
So really those are the only kind of people that might really struggle with trying it, because, you know, there's some people that just can't relax, but maybe this is a good thing for those kind of people, because you should just sit and be still, and it might be a great exercise for those kind of people.
And is there you said you did it 3 times a day, because I was going to say, is there the best time to do it? Because normally first thing in the morning and last thing at night, you're sort of more receptive to these things. So I guess you just sort of spread it out throughout the day, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I just did one in the morning, one like around 3 o'clock. You know, that crash time that you have where you're just like, ugh, don't want to do anything. I would do it that time, and then at night before I went to bed are definitely the best times to do it. Yeah.
Well, Holly, is there anything that you'd like to say before I go on to any questions that viewers have? I mean, the thing is, I think it's a remarkable subject, the whole thing, the healing foods and the sort of tapping into the power of the subconscious. And like Holly said before, this is what's worked for her. And I mean, I'm sort of Asian origin as well. And, you know, my mother, every time we have an illness or an ailment, you know, there's always a food to cure it, because that's just the way we were brought up. You know, it's like bitter gourd will do this, and okra will do this, and, you know, fennel seeds will do this. So for us, it's very much a kind of way of life. I think what lets my culture down specifically is the love of sugar. It's like back in the olden days, they used to, because they used to be farmers and they used to be out in the farm, they used to need a lot of energy, but now they don't, but they still consume it like they feel like they should.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, if I have to say, give any, you know, anything else, if you're watching this and there's someone that you have a lot of chronic pain, if it's something that you're struggling with, the number one thing that you need to put in your mind is that just because everyone else tells you that this is going to be a permanent thing in your life does not mean that it has to be a permanent thing in your life. Because right there, you know, the first place that you have to start is in your mind, and you have to not accept that as truth and accept that as reality. And when you're ready to not accept that as your reality, that just because everyone else is telling you that this is what it's going to be, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what it has to be. So to put that, be in that state of mind first before you decide to make any kind of changes. Because once you're in that state of mind and you've made that decision in your mind that you're not going to suffer from chronic pain for your whole life, then that is going to help you get to your path of healing.
That's you know what, that's really incredible. It's very, very powerful. And it is exactly, there's a story in The Secret movie where a woman was diagnosed with something and she refused to accept it. So really you have to have your own belief around that. And I think more than anything else, it starts with the mindset. You have to have the correct mindset to, like you said, not accept what they're telling you, and be able to, and I think then you'll find the solutions. I think then you will start attracting the people to give you the solutions. Is that right, Holly?
It's absolutely right. It's absolutely right. Yep. It all starts in here and in your heart, and you put those two together and the rest will come. I mean, that nurse came into my life.
Yeah.
The right books came into my life, the right people, everything started coming when I made that decision in my mind that I wasn't going to accept what people were telling me as truth.
Oh, it's incredible. It's really very, very, very powerful stuff. Awesome. So I've got a question coming in. I've got a question coming in from Natasha, and Natasha's saying, do you still use your medication? Do you occasionally go back to it? Like, how does it work? Have you finished with that completely, or do you do what you're doing in conjunction with medication?
I personally am not on medication anymore.
Oh,
I was on two different. I was on Lexapro and I was on Percocets.
Yes.
When the pain got really, really bad. And what we found with the Percocets actually was it might help for just a little bit, but really what it did was trigger more of those pain receptors in your mind. So you almost need like more. So when I started realizing that was going on, I just stopped with the Percocets. And anytime I really, really needed some sort of pain control, I went back to that pain control and back into that meditative state to handle the amount of pain. And then I slowly got off the Lexapro, and I'm not on any medicines at all. I take a multi-enzyme for my stomach, and that's it. And that's all natural. That's not any.
Pretty incredible stuff this is, isn't it? It's brilliant. But again, where anything that you have, obviously this is what's worked for Holly. You've got to consult with your own doctor, and this is what's worked for Holly. So we're sharing her remarkable journey, and it could work for you. So that's the purpose of this information.
Right. Right. And really, again, it was that whole, it was putting everything together. It was, my physical body. I went into therapy for a long time. I was in therapy, and now in my basement, I actually have like a workout room.
Yes.
And every morning I either, not every morning, I try to do it every morning, but I'm either doing Tai Chi or like a yoga or Pilates, and, working on, I always have to be ahead of my pain.
Yes.
So when I'm working on my body and I'm working on my nutrition and I'm doing everything together, then it helps. So it's really a whole. I just want to put that, it's a wholeness. It's everything.
Yeah, it's the whole mind, body, spirit, mind, body, green, however you'd like to say it. It's treating your whole symptom. Okay, I've got another question coming in from Amber, and what she says is, God, it's gone now. It's sorry about this. How long before you actually, was it after the 30 days that the pain stopped, or did it take longer than that? How quickly did you start noticing the effects of this pinger?
It was within a few weeks, actually. And they actually, when you're reading the book, it will actually say you might start feeling better within days. It might be weeks. Typically the longer time you've been in pain, the longer it may take. But to not, even though it stopped in like 3 weeks, I had to go the full 30 days. So even though if you start this and you're seeing, results, and then you might just stop, this is a 30-day, 3 times a day program that you don't want to just stop just because you start feeling better. You want to stay consistent for 30 days and do this 3 times a day. And then from there, anytime you need it, just that, my family, I got to go upstairs for a few minutes, and they know it's fine.
Oh, brilliant. I've got another question coming in from Kylie, and what Kylie is saying is she struggles with breakfast with no sugar, stroke carbs, etc. So what would you recommend for breakfast, Sally?
Breakfast, I kind of switch up between like a plain oatmeal, and I might put like just a little bit of cinnamon,
yes,
or even like a little drizzle of pure maple syrup, not the stuff that has the high fructose corn syrup. But
no, definitely not that.
Yeah, not that stuff. But the real stuff, if you just put a little bit on there, it really spices it up a little bit. Or just like scrambled eggs, get your protein in the morning and get your body, scrambled eggs and some fruit. You put a protein with a fruit, and that will hold you over, for a few hours, and it's really good for you too. So those are my 2 main go-tos for breakfast.
And you actually, a side product of sort of the curing, you actually lost a lot of weight as well, didn't you? Which is remarkable without trying.
Weight. Yeah. And now, I actually, I've helped people lose weight too, but that was never my intent to do when I started this. My intent was to be healthy and feel good. And I actually dropped about, I want to say like 10 inches and over 20, 30 pounds in the process. So yeah, I've definitely gone down.
And your skin's glowing. I have to say, your skin, it's incredible. Everything is sort of tip top, and it's down to your green eating, isn't it, Holly?
It must be. Thank you. Yeah.
So it's been remarkable. This is such a remarkable story. So anything is possible if the application and the correct mindset is there. I mean, for someone to go from the pain that you went through to absolutely, I mean, look at you sat in front of us, totally healed. Do you feel healed, Holly?
I do feel totally healed, and that's another, like, that's that mindset thing. Like, even though the pain tries to come back, I instantly am like, you are alive. Like, I am healed. I am walking my healing. There's such a power in your words and what you say.
Yes. Yes.
I truly believe that. So I'm very powerful when I use my words when it comes to healing. So not only do I say it, I feel it, I know it. That's, yeah, everything else is a lie that tries to come at me.
No, it's incredible. It's remarkable, and you've got a very special bonus as well to give away, which for live Fuel Yourself Fabulous.tv viewers, haven't you, Holly?
I do. I am going to send to you guys a top 5 list of pain-reducing foods for you. So I hope that that's helpful for you in making some food choices. And when you're in a lot of pain, you know, hopefully you can take that list and you can try some of this stuff out for you.
Oh, this is this is incredible. So thank you so much, Holly, for sharing your story with me. I know you're very, very busy, and I know we've been trying to get this done for a few weeks now, but it was worth it in the end, wasn't it, to share your incredible story?
The best time, I knew it would happen at the best time. So I'm just glad that it finally got together. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share, and I hope that it helped a few people. If it helped just a few people, then it's all worth it.
So actually, I'm gonna probably ask these questions in whilst we've gone along, but as it's Fuel Yourself Fabulous.tv, what your number one food to actually fuel people fabulous? What's your number one food?
My number one food, I'm gonna have to say kale. I really, really love kale. It's one of my favorite things in the world. It's very versatile. You can cook with it. You can bake it so it's crispy. You can and just the benefits that it does for your body is incredible. I mean, that's my go-to. I love it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm hooked on kale as well. Curly kale chips and in smoothies. So the darker the color, the better it is for you. More so, the more nutrition it has in it as well. Is that correct?
Definitely. Unfortunately, that iceberg lettuce doesn't really do much of anything for you at all. So yeah, it's pretty pointless.
Yeah, kale. Kale's the go-to. So brilliant. Anyway, yeah, brilliant. Thank you very, very much, Holly. And we'll send you the bonuses, anyone who's tuned in live. And I've got a show tomorrow as well where I start with my sort of digestive health IBS series, but I had to get Holly in because I just wanted to share her story. So thank you very much for tuning in. And it's Sabrina Khan, over and out from Fuel Yourself Fabulous.tv.
Thank you.
Thank you.